maybe your counselor told you that this camp's a little different than normal camps. Often you go to a soccer camp and you're just working skills, skills, skills. You don't really get to know some of the people who you're doing soccer with so much. Obviously, if you're on like a travel team, you do. But this camp's a little different. We're going to talk about the physical skills, and you're going to learn those and make improvements on those and those physical skill goals. But we're also going to delve into those mental skills that you need to get better at your sports. And the older you get and the more advanced you get at your sport, the more those are going to come into play. My son Ian does fencing this year, and he competed against somebody who was a lot better than him once, and the person he was competing against kind of fell apart mentally. Like he's a beginner and she's really advanced, and he got one of the first points, and she'd never had like a beginner like score a point on her before, and all of a sudden she started getting like, you know how when something doesn't go your way and your mind starts just being like, what's going on here? And then you lose your focus, and that just kept happening and happening. And Ian kept focused. If you don't know who Ian is, he's in the back there in the red. He kept focused and he kept his mental cool, and he ended up beating her that time. So I don't know if he'll ever beat her again, but that's an example of how our mental game is very important. Okay? If you miss a kick or miss a goal and start giving yourself like negative self-talk, like, oh man, I stink at this, what, you know, you start sending those signals to your brain, it has an effect on your body too. Okay, so our goals, of course, number one goal is celebrate sports and have fun. So I didn't say in our first goal is to get really better at our layup or anything like that. What I think a lot of you have done is signed up for some sports maybe that you've never tried before, and that's kind of one of our goals. Often there's not enough time with school and all this other stuff to try out a new sport like fencing. You know, you're so busy with hockey or with soccer, there's no time to fit in 8-week session at the Park District of fencing. So this is a great opportunity to try a new sport and just do 4 days in a row of whatever, whether it's lacrosse or volleyball or, you know, and kind of, so I hope you guys maybe pick a sport that you haven't done so much and you want to give it a try. Our second goal, so that's kind of like the outer game. Doing those sports, learning the skills. The inner game is we want to teach you some like life skills. First, you're going to start using them for your sport, like visualization, where you kind of visualize yourself making that goal before you go out and play. As well as those same skills you use for sport, this is a really cool thing is you can implement and use them when you're taking a spelling test or writing an essay or something for school, as well as use them in your relationships. Obviously, you know, sometimes you have a brother or sister who kind of annoys you or stresses you out. You can use those same skills you use for sports to handle different, you know, relationship things too. So that's where integrity comes into play. Integrity is that big word you maybe heard at school when you're talking about character and respect and those type of things. So integrity is when you value something a bunch, that your actions match your values. So what is on the inside, what you feel is very true for you, like your passions, what you love most, that we're doing those. So if you love playing bongo drums and your friends think, oh, that's stupid, why are you playing the bongo drums? No, that's true for you and brings you joy and passion. So having integrity is acting on that, and even if no one else likes doing that you're going to do it anyway, okay? And so that's another way to think about integrity instead of just, you know, obviously integrity also means that you're being kind, and if you value kindness, that you're going to act kind, okay? Another big word like integrity is mindfulness. So you got your integrity muscles and your mindfulness muscles, and we're not only going to work our sport muscles that we use in our sports, but also like those inner game muscles, okay? And after lunch when we come back here again, I'm going to go more into what mindfulness is. But it's basically a different way of being aware of things. It's kind of like being in the game, playing the game, as well as kind of up in the bleachers watching the game. So you're aware of kind of what's going inside your mind, you're inside of what your body's doing. So So it's kind of being more aware.